Your prescription just jumped from $60 to $240. And here's the part that should make you furious. The drug didn't get more expensive. Your insurer quietly moved it to a higher cost-sharing tier, and nobody told you. I read the fine print so you don't have to. This isn't a rare glitch. An estimated 18 million Americans couldn't afford a prescribed medication in 2023, Wikipedia summary of U.S. drug pricing. Often because coverage shifted, not the drug. Today, I'll show you 3 moves. Audit your tier, compare cheaper alternatives, and document and challenge the increase. Here's the number that frames everything. Americans pay about 4 times more for brand name medicines than people in 33 other wealthy countries, according to a 2022 RAND analysis cited by the Center for Biosimilars. That gap isn't your drug. It's the system built around it. So we'll do 3 things. Audit your formulary and tier, compare lower-cost alternatives, then document and challenge the jump. Each one is free and takes under 30 minutes. First mechanism. In the U.S., drug manufacturers set their own list prices, and no single national purchaser or regulator negotiates or caps them. Stanford Medicine, 2023. Patents and FDA-granted monopoly rights block competition for years, so the underlying price stays sky-high. The scale is staggering. A JAMA review found U.S. per capita prescription spending hit $858 in 2013 versus $400 across 19 industrialized peers. CT/OHS 2017. Other countries negotiate value-based prices. The U.S. mostly doesn't, so we start from a much higher baseline. Now the second layer, and here's the part nobody tells you. Pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, manage drug benefits for insurers and employers, controlling which drugs are preferred and how much you pay. Harvard Health 2024. Their fees and rebates often grow when higher-priced drugs are used. That's how the sudden spike happens. When your PBM moves your drug to a non-preferred or specialty tier, a flat $40 copay can become 30 or 40% coinsurance on a list price of hundreds or thousands. Stanford Medicine 2023. A $60 script becomes $240 overnight, 4 times more, same medicine. The myth is that your drug got 4 times pricier overnight. The fact, per research, is that most big jumps come from tier and cost-sharing changes layered on an already high list price. Stanford Medicine and CNBC 2019. Not a sudden spike in what it costs to make. Put the 2 forces together. The average specialty drug now runs about $52,000 a year, up from roughly $18,000 a decade ago. Accessible Meds 2024. Combine that list price with tier-based coinsurance, and one patient can face 6 figures in extra lifetime cost. Around $150,000 by my estimate. Meet Lisa. She's 52, a public school teacher earning $68,000. On an employer PPO with a $1,500 deductible. She takes a specialty biologic for an autoimmune condition, with 13 years until retirement. Here's what she found when she actually read her plan. Discovery 1, about $1,300 a month. Last year, Lisa hit her out-of-pocket max and paid roughly $6,000 for the year. After a formulary redesign, she now pays 30% coinsurance on a biologic priced around $4,300 a month, over $15,000 a year. Illustrative Accessible Meds 2024. This is general information, not personal advice, and the drug is named only as an example. Discovery 2, $10,500 of pure overpay. U.S. brand name drugs cost about 4 times more than in 33 OECD peers. RAND via Center for Biosimilars 2022. If Lisa's biologic were priced like it is abroad, her same 30% share would be roughly $4,500, not $15,000. Discovery 3, the one that compounds. Brand name drug prices keep climbing at even 4% a year. CNN 2026, Lisa's $52,000 drug reaches about $87,000 by year 13. Her 30% share climbs from around $15,600 to roughly $23,100 a year. Same design, just inflation baked in. Add it up over Lisa's remaining 13-year career, and the gap is enormous, about $150,000 in extra out-of-pocket cost versus an OECD-style pricing environment, authors estimate from RAND and Accessible Meds figures. Even with plan caps, a conservative $100,000 to $130,000 range is attributable to U.S. pricing and benefit design. Could this be you? You've never checked which tier your drug is on this year. You don't know whether you pay a flat copay or a percentage. And you haven't compared your last 2 pharmacy receipts side by side. If any of those land, the next few minutes matter. So let's turn this into action, because you have more leverage than the system wants you to believe. These 3 moves are all free, all doable in under 30 minutes. And each one directly attacks the exact mechanism that spiked your cost. Do them before your next refill, and you can catch a tier change before it drains your account. Move 1. Audit your formulary and tier. Log into your Insurers member portal and open the prescription drug list. Then find your exact drug. Note its tier: generic, preferred brand, non-preferred, or specialty, and whether prior authorization or step therapy applies, so you can see what actually changed. Here's how. Log in and open drug coverage or formulary. Search your drug and record its tier and any rules. Then compare that cost with your last pharmacy receipt. Good looks like a preferred or specialty tier with a fixed $50 to $100 copay, not high coinsurance. Move 2. This is the second strongest lever. Ask your prescriber directly whether an FDA-approved generic, biosimilar, or same-class alternative fits your condition. Confirm it exists in the FDA Orange Book and biosimilar lists, then check the alternatives tier and copay against your current brand. How to do it? At your next visit, ask for a generic, biosimilar, or equivalent. Confirm it's FDA approved for your indication. Then compare monthly costs on the formulary. Good looks like a switch that cuts your total drug cost by 50% or more. Before I get to the last move, which is the most counterintuitive part of all this, because it's the one most people never even attempt, let me set it up. Move 3 is to document and challenge the increase. Save your last 3 to 6 pharmacy receipts and EOBs showing the exact dollar jump, then request a written reason for the tier change. Call your insurer, request the tier change explanation, and ask about a medical necessity exception. If refused, file a formal appeal, then a complaint with your state insurance department, attaching your documentation. If breakdowns like this are useful, subscribe. The next one's already coming. Why now? Back in 2013, JAMA documented U.S. spending of $858 per person versus $400 in peer nations. By 2022, RAND confirmed U.S. prices near 3 times OECD levels, with brand drugs about 4 times higher. And in 2026, NPR reported 872 medications raised prices in the first 2 weeks alone. Median 4%, the escalation isn't slowing. After you act, verify it's stuck. You should see a written tier and cost share for your drug. Confirm any exception or lower cost switch is on record. And if your appeal is denied, know you have a filed regulator complaint on the books. That paper trail protects you next plan year 2. Everything here is drawn from RAND, Stanford Medicine, JAMA, Accessible Meds, and reporting from NPR and CNN. All the links are in the description, so you can check the numbers and your own plan yourself. You now know how a quiet tier change, not the drug, can quadruple your bill, and the 3 moves to fight it. Next, I'm covering how PBMs actually decide what your medication costs, and who pockets the difference. That one pulls back the curtain on the middlemen almost nobody in this system wants you to understand. If you want to catch it, subscribe now so you don't miss it.